Turkey has just suffered from a major earthquake, but there is an interesting crypto aspect to this story. Basically, Turkish nonprofits have raised, I believe, now more than $3 million in crypto for earthquake response. And our next guest will talk about this in more detail, but this is interesting for various reasons. One, because it's an actual use case for crypto at a time when there is a lot of skepticism of crypto, but it's particularly interesting in the Turkish context because Turkey, while it is a major market for cryptocurrency, one of the largest in the world, there are some restrictions on how you can use cryptocurrency. For example, the government has restricted cryptocurrency as a form of payment, but are apparently relaxing that in the wake of this current emergency. So joining us to discuss this in more detail is our wonderful colleague, CoinDesk Türkiye Editor-in-Chief, Serdar Turan. Welcome, Serdar. So nice to see you.
Great to see you, Emily. Thank you.
So, all right, well, I hope everybody, is okay. I know you're in Istanbul, which is thankfully far from the earthquake epicenter, but we extend our best wishes to you anyway. Tell us what's going on in Turkey. Just give us a rundown of these latest developments, which in some ways are quite surprising.
Yeah, actually, Turkey is not very much unfamiliar to the earthquakes. We have been having significant earthquakes every 20 years or two. And also there is an expectation of a very severe earthquake in Istanbul as well. So this is a very unfortunate event. We have been seeing a lot of damage in the southeastern part of Turkey. It is an area of more than 10 cities. According to the official numbers, the death amount of the people who passed away is nearly 9,000, and still we have been waiting for the reports to come. And more than 13.5 million people somehow affected from this disaster. So it's a very unfortunate event. We are okay here in Istanbul, but a lot of friends and relatives are there. So it is a very dark days for Turkey.
Thank you for that update. And we extend all our sympathy to this situation. So let's talk about crypto for a moment,
Sure.
just because this actually is a genuine crypto story. It's not us trying to turn this into a crypto story. So Turkish nonprofits have apparently raised more than $3 million. And I think this is interesting for a variety of reasons. But let's start with the biggest thing here, which is the Turkish regulation, because this is very relevant, right? Turkey does not allow crypto for payments. And my understanding is that the government is sort of waiving that because of this emergency situation. Can you just explain that to everybody, what's going on?
Sure. As you have already mentioned, Emily, Turkey is one of the largest markets for crypto adoption and crypto investment base, if I may. And the Central Bank of Turkey, which is one of the major regulators here, banned crypto payments by April 2021. And then in Turkey, you cannot buy and sell anything with crypto. And donations, however, seems to be a little bit of gray area for this because the community is not 100% sure that donations are considered as payments, so nobody was moving into that space. But with the earthquake incidents, there has been a huge pressure from the crypto community, not only in Turkey but globally, to somehow donate to the victims of this severe event. And then a rock singer, Haluk Levent, just pioneered the process here. He said that there is a huge demand for him to open some wallets because he is also the founder of one of the leading humanitarian relief organizations here in Turkey, a non-profit one. And he is one of the most trusted people when it comes to humanitarian efforts in Turkey. So he pushed the limits a little bit. And then he got a clearance from the Financial Crimes Authority here. And then that started the process. And then the local exchanges opt in. Some local exchanges also got clearance from the authority as well, and they helped other nonprofit organizations to open wallets. And then suddenly, nearly all the nonprofit organizations in Turkey who are actively involved in this process started to open wallets, including the Red Crescent, which is governmentally led largest humanitarian relief organization in Turkey. And then the gray area becomes much more clear area for the donations. And as you have already mentioned, this is a very important process for the crypto industry here, because as you have already said, it is a really, really good chance not only for Turkish community but the global community to show a really, really good utility of crypto, which is something that we desperately need after all those incidents like FTX crash or other unfortunate incidents. So I think as you have said, I think the donations exceeded like 3 million, and it is still counting. And I'm sure that this is going to be a great example for the use case of crypto.
You know, it reminds me a little bit of some of the relief efforts we saw in Ukraine, which was, you know, or even for funding some of the war efforts in Ukraine, where crypto played an important role. Has anybody articulated why crypto specifically, like why crypto is better in this use case than more traditional forms of aid?
Right. There are a couple of reasons for this. For instance, the first reason is that Turkey has a very vibrant crypto community. So if we can provide some familiar methods for these people to contribute to these donations, it will be much more easy for them to donate. And also, speaking of Turkey, there is a huge Turkish diaspora, especially in Europe and also in US as well, in some Asian countries as well, and they would like to donate. They are very much active in those kind of donations. However, the conventional systems, sometimes the transactions can be very costly when we consider with the cost efficiency of the crypto donations. Especially when it comes to micro donations, the small amount donations, sometimes the cost of transaction is nearly at the 100% of the donation as well. So this crypto is also very much efficient in terms of cost of the transaction, in terms of micro donations. And also, Emily, there's a cultural aspect to this. In Turkey, people really want to stay anonymous when it comes to donations. It's a cultural issue. It is like your your left hand doesn't know what your right hand gives, kind of a situation. So I think this is also very good for the cultural fabric of the local community and the global diaspora as well.
Nonetheless, the current administration is not exactly a friend of crypto, as you've noted. So despite this being a prime use case for crypto, and the amount relatively is it's still, you know, under 10 million. Do you think that after all is said and done, and once the rubble is clean and the reconstruction begins, do you think that there might be a change of heart by the administration, and it'll go back to being hostile to crypto, given the threat that it might cause the situation with the lira itself, and with some of the policies, monetary and fiscal policies of the government?
Right. Hopefully it is going to open new doors, I believe, because in April 2021, when the central bank banned crypto, the main reason was crypto is not very trusty, and there are some very significant gray areas. But I think this is going to be a really good use case, because when it comes to donations, you need transparency, you need much more accountability, and blockchain technology itself is naturally providing that. So I think there is going to be a very strong trust factor for the blockchain technology itself with this use case, and I'm hopefully that this is going to open new doors for different areas and applications of the blockchain technology as well as the cryptocurrency ecosystem in Turkey. So I'm optimistic about that.
Now, cryptocurrencies, of course, do well in places where there's economic instability. Is there a fear in Turkey that the cleanup efforts and some of the aftershocks, even though these events didn't occur in Istanbul or Ankara or Izmir, nonetheless, that these kind of this kind of effort to clean up might cause economic instability in Turkey?
Actually, when you look at the level of the destruction, especially in those cities, it is going to cost a lot of money for the reconstruction. So I believe that Turkey is at the edge of reconsidering all the budgetary actions that is going to happen in the upcoming months. And I think crypto will be a positive contributor to that. So as much as we are reading from the news, government is mobilizing a lot of financial resources for this and for the construction efforts that will follow up these cleaning efforts as well. So I think it's not going to be easy, but Turkey has gone through a lot of very substantial or very unfortunate destructive events like this in every 20 years or 30 years. So, and we have always managed to somehow get over with those things. So I think, of course, it's going to be difficult, but I think we will sort it out.
And Serdar, do you have an idea of when these millions of dollars in crypto donations are coming in, how they're being distributed? Are they being converted immediately to Turkish lira and, you know, on a local exchange? How is that being distributed to provide aid to people?
Right, Kristen, that's a very valid question. It is not 100% clear yet, but all those wallets are opened by the local exchanges here, as well as the global exchanges like Binance and other ones. So as much as I heard, it is going to be exchanged by the local exchanges here, but the Financial Crime Authority and the local exchanges are still working on this, how to make it happen in the practical environment.
All right. And you mentioned a musician, a celebrity in Turkey, Levent. He managed to tweet out the addresses of 3 new crypto wallets that people can donate to. But shortly after his tweet, accounts began to pop up on Twitter with their own crypto wallets linked, claiming to be charities helping the victims in Turkey. One account was using the same name and logo as the NGO that Levent runs called Abab. Which helps victims on the ground in Turkey. Any tips to avoid these kind of scams?
Yeah, unfortunately, these scams happened just right after these relief efforts have been announced. It's very unfortunate to hear that, and even Levent and the community here really reacted very aggressively against it. Of course, the financial literacy when it comes to the crypto currency ecosystem in Turkey is not very high. I have to admit that. So people can just check those accounts, those wallets from different sources if they are genuine wallets, and also they can go and check the social media posts as well. So it requires for focusing on some details and try to understand which of these are genuine and which of these are scam. But Kristen, there is a very active crypto community here in Turkey. If there is a scam around in a second or two, many people just go there, leave comments, and they just go and try to warn people. So of course there are some scammers around, but I think the efforts of community will be a really good way of getting these people out of the picture.
All right, Serdar, thank you for joining us, and much, my prayers go out to you all in Turkey. I hope for a quicker recovery. That was CoinDesk Turkey Editor-in-Chief Serdar Turan.